Appendix. The appendix is the most famous example of a so-called useless human organ. For decades, it was described as a biological error, a leftover without purpose, tolerated rather than selected. That description was convenient, but it misunderstood how evolution actually operates. The appendix is a small, finger-shaped pouch attached to the large intestine. It plays no direct role in digestion. Removing it does not reduce lifespan, physical capability, or reproductive success. Millions of people live without an appendix and never notice the difference. This alone places it firmly in the category of expendable anatomy. Historically, the appendix was part of a much larger structure known as the cecum. In early mammals and primate ancestors with plant-heavy diets, this chamber helped break down cellulose and fibrous material. It was metabolically expensive, but useful. As human diets shifted toward cooked food, meat, and easily digestible nutrients, that digestive role became unnecessary. The structure shrank dramatically. What remained was not redesigned, it was reduced. Modern research suggests the appendix may act as a reservoir for beneficial gut bacteria. During severe intestinal illness, when the microbiome is flushed out, bacteria stored in the appendix can help repopulate the colon. This function exists, but it is secondary. It is not essential for survival. It is a contingency system. From an evolutionary perspective, the appendix persists because it sits below the threshold of elimination. Appendicitis is dangerous, but historically rare enough that it did not significantly reduce reproduction at the population level. Evolution does not optimize against occasional failure. It optimizes against consistent disadvantage. The appendix is not efficient. It is not necessary. It remains because it is tolerable. Wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth are third molars that erupt late in adolescence or early adulthood. In modern humans, they are far more likely to cause medical intervention than to provide functional benefit. Early humans had larger jaws and diets that required intense chewing. Food was raw, fibrous, abrasive, and mechanically demanding. Teeth wore down quickly. Extra molars extended chewing ability and increased long-term survival. As cooking, tool use, and food processing became widespread, the mechanical demands placed on the jaw dropped sharply. Jaw size decreased over evolutionary time. Teeth did not shrink at the same pace. Evolution adjusted one system faster than the other. The result is spatial mismatch. In modern skulls, wisdom teeth often lack room to erupt properly. They become impacted, misaligned, partially trapped beneath the gums, or chronically infected. Their presence increases the risk of inflammation, pain, jaw damage, and systemic infection. Functionally, wisdom teeth add nothing unique. Their removal does not reduce chewing efficiency or nutritional intake. Other molars fully compensate. Natural selection does not correct traits that cause problems late in life. As long as reproduction occurs successfully, discomfort and medical complications after adolescence exert little evolutionary pressure. Wisdom teeth persist not because they help, but because their harm arrives too late to matter biologically. Evolution does not care about dentistry. It cares about reproduction. The coccyx. The coccyx is the fused remnant of a tail. In many mammals, tails are essential structures. They assist with balance, locomotion, communication, and spatial orientation. Early primate ancestors relied on tails heavily, particularly in arboreal environments where stability determined survival. As humans evolved upright, bipedal locomotion, the tail lost its function. Over time, the vertebrae shortened, fused, and retracted into the pelvis. What remained became the coccyx. Today, the coccyx serves primarily as an attachment point for a small number of muscles and ligaments associated with pelvic floor support. These muscles can function without it. Its contribution is supportive, not essential. This becomes clear when the coccyx is injured or surgically removed. Pain can be intense, yet mobility, balance, and posture remain largely unaffected. Walking does not rely on it. Standing does not depend on it. From an evolutionary standpoint, completely removing the coccyx would require altering spinal development during embryogenesis. Such changes introduce risk without providing meaningful advantage. Evolution favors conservative edits over architectural redesign. The coccyx remains because removing it would be more dangerous than keeping it. It is a fossil integrated into the spine. Male nipples. Male nipples exist because evolution does not build bodies separately for each sex. It modifies a shared developmental template. During early embryonic development, all human embryos follow the same pathway. Nipples form before sexual differentiation occurs. Once male development begins, nipples remain. They have no reproductive role in males. They do not contribute to offspring survival. They are not involved in lactation under normal biological conditions. Eliminating male nipples would require altering early developmental stages that affect both sexes. Doing so offers no advantage and increases the risk of unintended side effects. Evolution avoids unnecessary complexity. Male nipples persist because they are neutral. They do not help, they do not harm. They simply remain. They are anatomical inertia made visible. Body hair. Humans are mammals, yet compared to most mammals, we appear almost hairless. This is not because hair suddenly disappeared, but because its role changed faster than the body itself. Early humans were significantly hairier. Body hair provided insulation, physical protection, and sensory feedback. It also played a role in social signaling and environmental awareness. In colder climates, it helped retain heat. In dense vegetation, it offered minor protection against abrasion and insects. As human behavior evolved, biology followed slowly. Endurance hunting, long-distance travel, and increased activity in open environments placed a premium on heat regulation. Humans became one of the few mammals to rely heavily on sweating for cooling. Sweating works best on exposed skin. Hair interferes with evaporation. Dense body hair traps heat rather than releasing it. Over time, individuals with reduced body hair regulated temperature more efficiently and avoided overheating. Hair loss, however, was incomplete. Modern humans retain body hair in fragmented patterns. Some of this hair still serves minor functions. Eyebrows divert sweat away from the eyes. Nasal hair filters airborne particles. Scalp hair protects against solar radiation and heat loss. Most body hair below the neck no longer plays a meaningful role in thermoregulation or protection. Its sensory function is limited. Its contribution to survival is negligible. Body hair persists because it is not harmful enough to be removed. Evolution does not erase traits that are merely inefficient. Human body hair is not an adaptation. It is residue. Goosebumps. Goosebumps are caused by tiny muscles called erector pili, attached to hair follicles. When these muscles contract, hair stands upright. In fur-covered mammals, this response serves two purposes. It traps air close to the skin for insulation, and it makes the animal appear larger when threatened. Both functions improve survival. In humans, neither outcome applies. Human body hair is too sparse to trap air or create intimidation. The reflex remains intact, but the result is meaningless. Goosebumps are triggered by cold, fear, or strong emotional stimuli. The neurological pathway is ancient and deeply embedded. The brain still activates the response automatically. What has changed is the environment and the body itself. This is a classic case of evolutionary lag. The system persists because disabling it would require unnecessary rewiring. The response does not interfere with survival, so it remains untouched. Goosebumps are not useful, they are echoes. The palmaris longus muscle. The palmaris longus is a thin muscle located in the forearm. It is absent in a significant portion of the population, sometimes up to 20%, depending on ancestry. If you clench your fist and flex your wrist, it may appear as a small tendon in the center of the wrist, or it may not exist at all. This muscle once assisted gripping and climbing in arboreal ancestors. In species that relied heavily on hanging and grasping branches, it contributed to wrist flexion and hand endurance. In modern humans, its contribution is negligible. Clinical studies show no measurable difference in grip strength, dexterity, or endurance between individuals who have the muscle and those who do not. Surgeons routinely remove it for tendon grafts because its absence causes no functional deficit. From an evolutionary perspective, the palmaris longus is optional anatomy. Its presence or absence has no effect on survival or reproduction. As a result, evolution has never fully removed it. It persists because it does not matter. The third eyelid remnant. In the inner corner of the human eye lies a small fold of tissue called the plica semilunaris. It is the remnant of the third eyelid, also known as a nictitating membrane. In many animals, this membrane protects the eye, spreads moisture, and clears debris without blocking vision. In humans, this structure no longer performs any of those functions. It does not move, it does not shield the eye, it does not improve lubrication or vision. It is biologically inactive. Its presence is a developmental leftover. Removing it provides no advantage, and its existence causes no harm. As a result, evolution leaves it untouched. It is a reminder that anatomy remembers functions long after they disappear. The persistence of useless organs reveals a fundamental truth about evolution. Evolution does not aim for efficiency. It aims for adequacy. Natural selection removes traits only when they consistently reduce survival or reproduction. Traits that are merely inefficient, outdated, or inconvenient often remain indefinitely. Deleting an organ is not simple. It requires coordinated genetic changes during early development. Unless there is strong pressure to do so, evolution invades large rewrites. Many vestigial organs fall below the elimination threshold. They are not useful enough to be selected for. They are not harmful enough to be selected against. They remain because tolerance is cheaper than redesign. Human anatomy is not a clean blueprint. It is a layered record of past environments, behaviors, and compromises. Each useless structure reflects a problem that no longer exists, solved by culture, technology, or behavior instead of biology. The body you inhabit is not optimized for the modern world. It is adapted from older worlds. Evolution does not delete, it accumulates. Explaining things simply,